The year is 1945. For the last 6 years, this cartoon-style cat has been working as a car mechanic in this busy garage located in the heart of a big city. He wears a greasy jumpsuit, an oversized pair of goggles, and his fur is covered in oil stains. But he doesn't mind. He loves his job. It's not easy being a cat in a garage full of dogs, but he manages to get by. Sometimes he even makes a few bucks fixing up some of the junkers that come in. Today is one of those days. This guy brought in his car because it wouldn't start. The cat looked at it for a moment and shook his head. It needed a new battery. The cat went into the back and got one out. Then he came back and installed it. Just before starting it up, though, he looked at the dog sitting in the car and asked him if he had any cigarettes. The dog looked at him and then said no, so the cat got into the car and started it up. Then he let the dog drive it around the block so he could check the brakes. As they drove past the alley, the cat saw a mouse dart across the street and he chased after it. Unfortunately, the dog didn't see this and he slammed on the brakes, sending the cat flying through the air. He landed on his back with a thud. The dog got out and walked over to him and asked if he was okay. The cat looked at him and then slowly stood up. He shook himself off and said, "I'm fine," then walked back to the garage. The dog apologized and then drove off. The cat sighed and went back to work. It wasn't long before another customer pulled in. This guy had a big smile on his face and he got out and approached the counter. He asked the cat if he could fix his car. The cat looked at him and then nodded. The guy smiled again and said, "Great," then threw a banana peel on the counter and drove off. The cat looked at the peel and then started to laugh. It was going to be a great day. He got to work right away, but it wasn't long before he ran into trouble. He was trying to remove a huge car part, but it just wouldn't budge. He tried to loosen it with a wrench, but it was no use. Frustrated, he threw the wrench down and walked away. He came back with a banana and tried to pry it loose with it. Of course, this didn't work either, and the banana ended up getting stuck where the wrench had been. Just then, the guy whose car he was working on came back. He looked at the cat and then burst out laughing. The cat, embarrassed, tried to explain, but the guy just kept laughing. Finally, when he was done, he paid the cat and drove off. The cat shook his head and went back to work. He had a lot to do and not much time to do it in. As he worked, he could hear the sounds of hammering and banging coming from the back of the garage. Then he heard a loud explosion and saw a tire go flying through the air. It landed right next to him and bounced, sending the cat flying. He landed on his back and looked up to see the tire bouncing towards him. In slow motion, he watched as it came closer and closer until it was right in front of him. Then he let out a scream as it hit him and sent him flying through the air. When he came to, he was lying on the floor and the tire was on top of him. He struggled to get out from under it, but it was no use. It was too heavy. Just then, a pair of hands grabbed the tire and pulled it off of him. He looked up to see a dog with a big smile on his face. The dog helped him up and said, "Are you okay?" The cat looked at him and then nodded. He was okay. Then the dog laughed and walked away. The cat shook his head and went back to work. As he worked, he could hear the laughter echoing through the garage. He couldn't help but smile. Maybe this job wasn't so bad after all. The end.